Last time on Dragon Ball. Do you want to...
Both bolts stripped out of the housing. The bottom one, the drill bit snapped off into. We are back on the Accord. After I did all that, I let it sit for a couple days. I didn't even get to start it or anything. I was going to check out this car, but you know what? This came in the mail. So we're going to put this in. There's really no videos on YouTube about it, like full videos. All the forum photo buckets are just gone. So, let's see. Simple instructions from Weber themselves. I got, I'll put right here what else I also needed, but some like 10, 12, 14 millimeters. And I'm going to start taking stuff apart. I'm going to delete all of the vacuum lines and everything. This part right here, this EGR or whatever Honda calls exhaust recirculation crap, it goes into the exhaust right down there. You actually have to take off, or so I don't know. I'm probably just gonna cut it because it didn't come out before. This is all going, all this stuff. I'm just gonna start wrenching, taking stuff apart. Everything that looks obvious, and then anything that isn't, I'm gonna tell you. And once we get to it, I will show you. This cable here just loops around. This is the throttle cable. Got this one. It goes into the car. Got this to worry about. That's it. That's the one screw. I mean the one line. No kickdown cable or anything like that for us that I have to worry about. Nothing too exciting. Just a quick update on. I started on this side. Unbolted that right there, which I just have laying over there. Unbolted this. Two on the side. And then this just slid right on the bottom. This is capped with this. It just slides on, which I'm gonna put back, but just a couple little tabs you press down. That comes right on out. These have little push tabs. Came out super easy. This is like, God, this car is old and they were so easy. It was all gooped up in there. I don't think anything was going wrong. Quick that back so we don't lose anything. This will be coming all out. I believe this charcoal canister, yeah, I believe it is. I think that's getting deleted too. Goes in here somewhere. I wonder what that is. That seems like to be, that's a hard line, and that's rubber. We'll see about that, but I think that's just getting all deleted. I wonder if that runs to a gauge or something inside. I don't know what or why, but let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it on this side. Gonna start working on these, all 10 millimeters, by the way. Taking all this stuff off. And then I've read, I was pointing it out before, it goes in here like that on the, is it that one? Yeah, it's that one on the top. No, it's the one on the bottom of that. I see you could, I don't think I'll be able to get that out. People like crimp it up here and then weld it. I'll see what I do. Another update. So I was taking out. I ended up leaving these two bolts in right there, and the one on the other side right over there. Super easy to take out, 10 millimeters. But I put them back in because this was a different hose than the one I was talking about for the thermostat when I did that. This one, 32 millimeter, biggest wrench I actually had one. Broke straight off. This one wasn't as crusty as the other one, it seems. But yeah, that came off. So we'll mess around with that, and then continue taking stuff apart. Anything else? Oh, I just disconnected the fuel off the carb. That guy right there, I tucked up out of the way. All right, little update. I don't know if any of this is useful, but I took all this stuff apart. I want to do a kind of clean job to take off, kind of unplug as little as possible, honestly. But there's one big wire on this side going to this canister. Nothing else coming in or out of it. There's a couple lines going into these sensors over here. I would love to know, I'm probably just gonna remove them. I don't know. This has some stuff coming out of the bottom of it. This one doesn't really have anything coming out of it except for a wire that comes over here, goes into other stuff. Maybe they're all connected. I did take this bracket off, took these off of it. And then there was another bolt for the bracket over here that I have it redone in because it has a holding another bracket. Multi-bracket use. Yeah, if anybody knows what these are from, like some old Honda guru, or what, not from, but what they do rather. I know online everyone's saying just delete everything, so can't be too important, hopefully. Continuing, just taking stuff apart. All these wires over here went into a couple more sensors, I'm guessing. More connectors going into them. We will continue down and then take the carb off. All right, I got most things disconnected. Had to rip a couple lines. Honestly, you could probably just cut everything out. Like I said, I want to do it all clean and nice. See where everything was going. These are on both sides. They're like bigger. This one actually went into here. I think is a coolant. I have all the coolant drained though, so see that. But that's going to be a nice vacuum leak. You have to cover all those. This one is already looped. I didn't do that. Had to rip that one out. The hardest thing so far was this fuel line in the back. Kind of had to cut it, as you can see. Honestly, it's such a pain in the ass. I had a good luck in some needle nose in there to pull it off and all that. But the bolt for the carburetor, or the nut for the carburetor, is right there. The other one's right over here. And then the two up front. Gonna plop that out. And then hopefully everything else goes with it. I got pretty much everything disconnected. There might be some, I think there's a couple in the back going in that we'll get once the carburetor's up and I have a little more room. But that's everything out. Took this off. I'm gonna have to make a block plate for that. JB welded up or something. Since I got this off and it spins freely, I'm gonna see if I can just find a cap to screw over the top. Stop exhaust gases from going everywhere. A couple things from this point. My back is killing me. Oh no, I got this off. I think that's a coolant port right there. I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna take the spacer off, all that. But I got that off. It's a pain in the ass, a bunch of stuff connected on the back. Looks like there's a electrical connector going down into the that part right there, actually, the throttle probably, position sensor maybe. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there's a bunch of washers on top. There's like, I think there's 2 or 3 washers on top of each one of these. So try and get those off first. Mine all fell. One of them fell in there. Had to use a magnet to get it out. You don't want to suck that up in your motor. So make sure you get all those washers off. Yeah, other than the electrical connectors on the back, I'm gonna take off. I don't know, I might just unbolt that. I have no clue. We'll figure that out. But fairly straightforward still. I did take the carb off. A lot of coolant came out, so I'm gonna try and see if any fell in there. I'm gonna put some rags down there, soak it up, suck it in, and blow your motor. Yeah, everything else is disconnected. It's going to be pretty straightforward from this part. Those two are the sorry, I'm looking outside the camera moment. That connector right there is going to be blocked, and then there's the one I'm thinking, again, you will definitely know what I do, but that is the coolant in there. It seems like that one right in the middle, like the yellow surrounding it. Yeah, there's gonna be so much more room inside this thing. It's gonna be crazy. Oh, also, I've moved this, and the ear fell off that was holding it from, I guess, the force of that, and I was like, dang, that's crazy. The bolt is actually bent, so it did take some force to get that out. Just didn't feel like it with that big ass 32 on there. There you go. So yeah, make sure those are tight when you crank on that. More updates when I get everything out of the car and we go through all the stuff that we're gonna need to fix. God damn, does this job do a number on you? All right, I just removed this thing, sitting right over there. A bunch of vacuum lines go into it. It was this connector, goes into that connector right there. Just wanted to show that. I just got finished taking that off. This is it. I took it all apart as one unit pretty much, all connected together. Carbs right there. Yeah, I just started towards the end. Oh yeah, I want to go over a couple things as well, but towards the end I just started cutting stuff because it was on the back. This was a coolant line going straight into the back of the carburetor. That is, I'll show you where I cut it from, but that's what's going to there. This was disconnected, came off. I was wondering where the hell that was coming from. That goes into, I'm guessing maybe a throttle position sensor goes into this right here. So we'll see if I have to take that off. I did have to cut this, like I said, this fuel, which is not a fuel. I guess it's like a recirc, or it's definitely not a return, but it goes into that fuel on the back, like I said. You need it to get to the 4th bolt. Goes over here, I cut it, goes into this, e.g. some type of emissions crap, and then I just cut, like I said, cut everything off those, cut that, cut the back, got that off. That's the connector. Sorry, I'm jumping around all over, but that one part that I was for the TPS, it goes in the back to that connector right there, which goes, I don't know when I stopped recording. Great. But the back of the wire that goes in the TPS, I think of the TPS, I'm just going to be calling it that, goes in down there, goes into and then disconnected this connector, that goes into right back here, which goes into there on the car. But that might be a coolant temp sensor or something. I don't know. I feel like I was reading, someone said some of the gauges don't work when you take that off. We'll see what happens. Again, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just read a bunch of forums without any photos, and then I'm trying to do the job. I left this one connected in. I don't know if we'll need it. I don't know if this might be coming off for the swap. I think it definitely is. So we'll see. This might have to be disconnected. Again, there's just like a bunch of vacuum tees coming off of here that we'll see. I might just plug all of them with caps, or see if I could take it out. I don't want to strip anything. Again, I don't know if it's worth it to try and take them out and then block them with a nut or bolt, rather, whatever. This was just dangling down there, by the way. I don't know, I'm trying to show you everything, if it helps any of you, because I don't really know what I'm looking for myself. Probably just going to delete all those, cap this off. I don't know where that goes to in there. Probably some AC type stuff. This is just going to be deleted. I think it just comes up, so we'll figure it out. Oh yeah, this stuff over here I'm going to figure out. It is still connected. I'm going to leave it connected in. We'll see if it affects anything. But yeah, just a bunch of, yeah, like this one is literally 2 vacuum lines go into it, goes into a connector. You know what I mean? That's it. It looks like, I've read people are saying that the cruise control, I never use cruise control anyway, so I don't care about deleting it, but it's run off of, oh, there's a T right there. Maybe that goes in. I was going to say, I thought someone said it was running off the pedal for this car and not vacuum. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I'll get on that, but I don't use cruise control, so it will be deleted if it can be, without being a hassle going inside the car. All right, this is going to be the last video I make today. Didn't do much since the last part that we checked in on, but I did pry up on this. Like, I got a little pry bar underneath, just gave it a little wiggle. This whole thing popped off. Not much force at all. It is all plastic, so careful. This is actually pretty cool. I think this is just like a heater. So let's cut into the garage. It's a little mess. I just got finished with the Corvette project, which I probably haven't posted on YouTube, but that's cool. And then I started to working on my Jaguar, and I didn't expect to buy any cars, so I have just so many boxes of stuff that we're supposed to leave and then put away, and new boxes of stuff coming in for the Jaguar. Then I got the Honda, so big old mess. Yeah, you're gonna want silicone, this was for the other thing, but silicone block offs, not the just regular plastic. I'll leave through it. The heat cycles will kill it real quick. That's crazy. Yeah, so don't use these for coolant. It will eat through it. Okay, last one. I found them. Actually, there's one that in there that isn't, that is someone else's or myself. I put back lazily. So yeah, if you want the super thick silicone ones, bunch of caps in there. This I got from AutoZone. It's cheap. All right, it's a new day. Just giving a quick update. I went through and so okay, let's take it one step at a time. I blocked this off. I just cut out a little piece, drilled some holes based off the template of the gasket that was on there. You could buy kits already made and whatnot, especially for these Hondas. I'll get to what's going on here in a second, but yeah, just have that tightened down. Reading on the forums, you could just leave the EGR valve that was on top of there. But I deleted everything. The charcoal canister, the big one right here with the 3 going in, it just vents down there. Removed everything. This goes to the tank. We're gonna block this off, or possibly seeing people. I have like some like reducers. I'll see if, because it causes too much vacuum. They were saying on the forums, just block it off and vent your gas every so often. We'll see what I do. We'll see. These from the Vacuum Advance, we have 2 ports on mine, top and bottom. This one's labeled 2. The other one's, I think, 25 is what I've been reading online. 2 is going this wire, top wire, going up, going straight to vacuum. I'm teeing off the back here. The other one goes to thermal valve B, which is this guy that I have plugged off down there, I believe. Could be this one too. This is a 3-way. I think thermal valve B is a 2-way, so I have it plugged in there. They have all different temperatures that they operate, and then they suck in vacuum. I have all 3 capped off. I might try and mess with this for the cruise control. I never use cruise control anyway, but right now I'm just going to cap whatever's on there. I don't think it matters, but I'm going to cap it off, which would be the T off of here, going into the cruise control. Cap both sides of these off. Be the same. I don't think it's sucking any vacuum or anything, but just in case. Brake boosters going in there. Didn't even touch that. I'm not going to cap these off because they run through the head. There's some models, not mine, where you need to loop it from one of those sections to go through a carb, then back. Not this model. I don't need to do any of that. I have this setting right now at JB Weld. I did this in 2 steps the other day. I came and did it and like made the hole smaller, and then it sunk through. Then I have this one coming. You see it's a little divot. I'll go back and fill it up a little bit again, but that's gonna be solid. I had to do that on the Y8 intake on the Civic. When I switched to manual, I remember doing it in 2 steps as well. The rest of the vacuum line, oh yeah, I guess we could go over these connectors. This was for the heater for the like the primary heater for the carb. We're not going to be using that. That one of them is for the choke, electric choke. We will be using. I'm gonna have to wire up, which I think might be this one down here. Single wire connector down there. We are going to use 1 wire for the electric choke. This we still have to plug off. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. Try and find something that goes over it. Otherwise, we don't need much. We're going to cap off this. This is thermal valve A, I believe. Cap those off, take those off. I've been going around cutting all these off down there and whatnot. We have to plug this. I'm going to cut it up way shorter, but we're going to have to plug this coolant hose as well. That's about it. All right. I got this all hardened up. Blocked off. I'm gonna start. I scraped everything off, took all the studs out, got some little yeah, we won't worry about that. With the kit, we're gonna go with this one down first, then this on top with the beveled sides up, because that's where the screws are going in. Then we're gonna go with this one on top of this one, and this one on top of that. I just have these loosely threaded in there, not all the way down because you want it to sit on there. Then spray all those with some copper gasket, as it says silicone or RTV is not suitable, but basically just that. And we are doing it with this one. You look at the stock gasket like that, because this hole is bigger than that one. We're gonna put some Loctite on these guys. Just wanted to point this out. I got these all on. This is the only way the bottom bracket goes on. Tell me how I know. I took it all apart. So the bigger, I guess it has nothing to do with the size of the hole, of course. One side's bigger than the other. Blah, blah, blah. It only goes in one way. When you put the carburetor on. It's right here. The choke is going to go facing forward, which leaves the bigger hole in the back, which does not correlate with the bottom plate. Don't know if it matters. That's how they tell you to put it on. That's how I'm going to put it on. Before I do this, I'm going to wire up the electronic choke, because you need to cut it, splice it, run it to the front. All right, carb is on. A little final update for you. In general, I don't think it matters which way you put this thing on, forward, backwards. Pick your poison. You got the choke up front, so you have to rewire that. I'll show you. I have it just coming over here. I put it over that. It's going right down. I have it all soldered up. If you do it the way I did, where the choke is up front, you get the fuel right off of here. Block those off on the back. This goes into the PCV valve, but I blocked those off in the back. I have the vacuum advance going to the carb, or rather from the carb into port number 2 on here, and then I think this is 15 or 25 or whatever. That's going to thermal valve B, which I think I showed before, right there. The other port blocked off. All 3 of these ports blocked off. I currently have this just sitting there. Could probably hook that up. I have it reduced to a very small. Pick your poison. If you do it this way as well, where the choke's up front, the throttle cable bracket will not fit up there. I have mine in the back. I have my throttle cable looped this way in a big S, no big turns or no sharp turns. You have to, or I had to, drill this out. It wouldn't even fit around there. I had to drill, or I hit an angle grinder, cut it out pretty wide, have it all hooked up. The mechanism they give you, I've heard or I've read on the forums, just take it off the old one. This shit is whack, like in between 2 washers. I lost a washer while I was doing this, so it is wobbly. It's not supposed to be tight regardless, but it's wobbly, so I have that. I did check it, it works. See that? Ugh, I don't like it. Maybe I'll try rerouting it underneath. Pull it that way. But yeah, if you turn this around, you will have the focus. Stop doing this. What is it doing? If you turn the carb around, you will have the throttle bracket on the other side mounted up the front, and it will be that way. I've seen both. I've seen pictures of both. But your choke will be on the back, and your vacuum lines will be on the back. This is how it says in the Weber instructions to install it. Trying to think of anything else I should go over. AC, I was talking about before, you do not need anything if you have AC for it to work. There is a valve on the old carburetor, that is not on this, that they don't have on this. You hook up, it will increase the idle while the AC is running. I don't even think the AC works in this thing. Cruise control, so it's just plugged. I don't think you need to plug these up. There was like a orange and blue, plugged it all up. This still needs to cap off. I'm gonna try and find something. This thermal valve I just have open. I don't know if I point out in the other part. I do have this capped off down there. That was the one that went to the line into the back of the carburetor. Just want to make a quick video before it got dark. I got it all settled. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with this, but I got it all opened up, or started up rather. At a few times where it was idling at 3,000 when I first started. That was because I got this linkage. I'm going to put the link in the description. I'll show you the bag for it as well. And it was pulling it too far back. I had to cut the wire more, shove it in there. I had to drill this out a little bit as well. The wire was a little too thick, but I finally got it. This bleeds, or this mixture screw down there, it was way too, or if you're someone who's never done this like me with the carburetor, this was pulling this back not like too much, and this wasn't this screw, even when it was fully down, was not touching the back here. So I had to readjust this. Do all that first before you start messing with anything. After I got this right, I didn't have to mess with any of the I did like a quarter turn in or half turn in once it was touching this, and it was perfect. I didn't have to touch anything else. So make sure your throttle cable is good before you start messing with any other of the bleed or mixture screws, okay? Learned the hard way. I started messing with everything before that. I got a little frustrated, but then I figured that all out. Yeah, yep. Make sure that was, this was just touching that, then a half a turn in, and it was perfect. Get that right. That's that. Idling at, I think 900 I have it at, and it sounds good. This will go into, I reran these to the advance on the distributor because they were touching this and this gets hot, so I routed them around. This broke off when that I showed earlier. I just cut it off, and I have a quarter JB welded to the top. I'm gonna thread that right back on. Again, if you guys know anything that size that would cover over it, let me know. It's massive. It is a big ass. It would have to be a big ass nut. It's bigger than, you can see where I cut it off on here. It's bigger than, this is the biggest probably bolt I have, or nut I have on the back of this. It's bigger than that.